Hello everybody, what is going on, and welcome back to another episode of the My Player Career Mode. A little bit different to usual today, as we will be playing out the rest of the season here with Marseille, so however many games that takes, you are going to see them all in today's episode. Of course, the main thing of today though is to discuss whether or not we continue the series as it is, or if we restart the series. Now, I did post about this on the community section of the channel, and yesterday I uploaded a video where I ran a little test because apparently to EA, they had fixed the 0-star skill move bug. Now, they never specified whether or not they'd fixed it for all saves or just new saves. So I ran a test, I created a new My Player Career Mode and played it off camera, and I recorded the results for you guys. And after completing the skill moves in the accomplishment section, I can say mine was completely fine. I remained on 5-star skill moves. So it seems like, yes, new games have been fixed. They've been patched. However, our current saves, like the one I've been playing through for you on YouTube this entire time, is still showing 0. And there's many of you out there as well who still have the same issues with your... But we will discuss all of that later on in more detail at the back end of the video, so please refrain from voting in the poll until you've heard that kind of the back end of the video, because it'll explain, like, I guess, the pros and cons to restarting, to staying as it is, and like I said, we'll discuss all that later on. But for now, let's talk about the highlights of the games that you will be seeing. So, up first was the French League game against PSG, and as I was not sure how many games we were going to have today, I had to play it as post-com, because if I did them all live, we'd be looking at like an hour-long video, bare minimum, so I didn't really want to do that. I knew we were guaranteed at least 4 games from this PSG game here, the 2 against PSV, and also the French Coupe Nationale Cup semi-final. Couldn't get my words out there, so I knew we were guaranteed 4 games, so I thought to myself, let's just play it on the safe side, do them as post-com, at least for the first couple. That will buy us some time to work with later on in the video. And this game against PSG, I honestly didn't expect us to get a result in the league. It didn't quite secure them the French League title, this result, but it certainly didn't help our quest of chasing them down. So they won it comfortably, 2-0. We weren't even in the game. I said it before, I'll say it again. PSG are unstoppable, it seems like, in this series. That win took them, I think, 18 points clear. So, yeah, not too long to play in the league, and they're 18 clear. It's safe to say the title is already pretty much in their hands. Now, I came into this PSV game. Of course, the Europa League, our eggs are in that basket, as I said before. But I decided not to play the first leg because it was at home, and I had to come off during the PSG game at like 30 minutes because I was really suffering from bad fitness levels. So I thought I needed a bit of a rest. So I went ahead, decided it would be quite a good idea to sim the first game against PSV. With it being at home, it would have our best chance of winning the game, and we were wrong. It ended up 2-1 to PSV, which meant going into the second leg against them, we had to overturn a deficit, and I didn't really know how it was going to go, but I was fully fit, I was ready, and I knew I had to put in a shift in this game, and that's exactly what we did. 15 minutes in, we broke through, had the first shot of the game, and fired it into the top corner past the goalkeeper. It seemed like no problem whatsoever. I knew full well as well coming into this that I had to be the one to kind of take this game and make it and bring my team back level, if you will. And as I broke down the left-hand side, there was only really one thought in my mind, and that was to find the shot. I was never really interested in finding the cross. It was pretty much already blocked off, so we had to take it on. We did, and we scored. And not too long later, we had an opportunity for a second chance, and again, drove into the penalty area, seemingly the same corner as we scored for the first goal. We did it exactly the same, pretty much a carbon copy. Half an hour gone, PSV 0, Marseille 2. And on aggregate, that made it 3-2. And as it stood, we were heading through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So clearly, the team had missed us in that first leg when they fell to a 2-1 defeat. And on our return, it was the best return we could have hoped for. The comeback was complete, a 2-0 final score. And we would now await someone in that quarterfinal. I didn't know at this stage who it was going to be, but after I searched it, it was actually going to be Lyon. So, French opposition in the quarterfinals of the Europa League for us. And coming out of that game, I decided with our loss earlier on to PSG that we would go ahead and sim the rest of the French League games. The most we now can play for is the top 4. We can't fall any lower than 4th place, and we can't go any higher than 2nd place. So I believe all of those get Champions League football anyway. So yeah, it didn't really matter. But even if we are not to continue the series forward, it wouldn't matter anyway. So it only affects us if we are going to continue the series, and even then, we'll be going back to Borussia Dortmund. Also, as well, for England Games Day, I simmed them too. That was purely down to the fact that I wasn't sure whether or not we were continuing the series or not, as I'm waiting for you to tell me that from today's video. So I just decided to save a bit of time and not play them, although I would have done had, of course, I known what was going on. But for the final post-com game, we took on Lyon in the quarter-final first leg of the Europa League, and I felt pretty confident going into game. In the first half, the only real chance we had was that one there where I had a shot which went wide of the corner. And Lyon were an interesting opponent because I felt like we had enough to beat them, but they also, on their day, could beat us as well. And to say the least, this was actually their day because we did not show up in this first leg. 53 minutes in, they got the opening goal, a nice move which was finished off at the back post. But I just felt like this game was a game that should have ended 0-0. So that was a bit of an annoying goal to concede. And when we went 2-0 down through this, I went, okay, well, now we are in real trouble because PSV losing to them 2-1 was one thing. We only needed a goal. We're now 2-0 down to Lyon, who have shown here that they can beat us. And in this game, I actually came into it thinking, as long as we keep a 0-0 scoreline, it's all to play for over there. Not only did we not do that, we conceded 2 away goals as well. So Marseille 0, Lyon 2, going into the second leg of the Europa League, I felt I had to, at this point, take over as live com because this game was crucial to the rest of our season here at Marseille. Even if we are not to continue, I still want to win a trophy. So let's find out how the second leg has gone as we jump to live. Second leg of our Europa League quarter-finals against Lyon, and after a 2-0 defeat in the first leg, this game is now crucial. If we fall to a defeat here or don't win it in the required results, we will be out of the Europa League, meaning we only have the Coupe Nationale to play for. I can confirm as well that PSG have just wrapped up the league title. I will show you it here. They are 18 points clear with only 15 points to play for. 5 games remain, and like I said, 18 points the gap. Although, when I went into the news section, it didn't actually show me them with the league title, so I don't know why that is. Breaking news, you can see it here, there's nothing about PSG wrapping up that title. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure mathematically it's now impossible for us to catch them. So, yeah, for us, it's about the Europa League now. And like I said, 2-0 down to Lyon, not a scenario we wanted to be in. After this, we will play Saint Etienne in the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale. But if we don't get the required result here, we effectively only have the Coupe Nationale to fall back on as a trophy for the season because we're out of the league. We already got knocked out of the other French Cup. So, yeah, 2 to play for, and it's not looking good for the Europa League. So I decided to do this bit live. It is a crucial game, like I mentioned. We play the other games as post-com. There is the team as well that is selected for the game here. Player starts up front, Torvan on the right, Ali Razor on the left, myself, Rongier, and Strootman in the midfield. And like I said, no mistake, we have to really go for this right from the first whistle. We've got to claw back 2 goals as well and hope that Lyon don't reply before we can even think about getting through. So, yeah, a lot of work to be done. Let's see if we can do it. Just over half an hour played here, and at the moment, no chance for Marseille. We've not started in the game, if I'm being completely honest, and that just shows you there is a misplaced pass. I attempted it towards player, gave it straight away to Lyon, who are seemingly very comfortable so far in this first half. Happy to not really commit too many bodies going forward. When they do, they try and put a cross in. If it's dealt with, they just get back in the defensive third. And we aren't really able to break them down yet to even craft a chance. Again, where am I going to go with this? There's just no runs off the ball yet. Finally, one comes in from Ali Razor, off towards Kaletakar. Kaletakar finds it with a pass, and now we're trying to break through. Looking for the shot, we got it away too. Straight to the goalkeeper, it's back for Torvan. Tellers will make the block, our first chance of the game, and it's straight to the goalkeeper. I felt like I was running very slowly there. Just didn't seem to have the stamina to go all the way, so I tried to take it on nice and early, and the goalkeeper read it. Toussaint with the ball through towards Ndai. Ndai's ball across, and that is it. Kitala has scored. Lyon 1, Marseille 0. 24 minutes remain. 3-0 on aggregate. We now need 3 goals to head through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. it's safe to say we are out of this competition. We haven't been good enough at all over the course of the 2 legs. Here tonight, we've been awful as well. I really don't like the stamina, the way it works in this year's My Player career mode. I don't know if it's just my game or not, but you just run out of energy so fast in games. I spoke about it before. It just feels like I can't really do anything. I mean, ultimately, though, the boys tonight, we've just not showed up. We haven't played our usual game of football that we usually do. Been wasteful in possession. And unfortunately, this is where the Europa League journey looks like it's ending. Carrying forward, but there's just no run coming in off the ball. Torvan is there, but we can't break through against Lyon. We've got 5 minutes left, and it's just chewing down the clock right now. Do we even want to get back in this game? Because we're not really committing bodies forward here to make that happen. Jermaine's ball through towards myself. But the shot comes in. It was the weaker right foot. The goalkeeper's made a save, but there's a sign of life finally from Marseille. And again, we will break through. Looking for another one. There's a goal back. I feel like it's too little too late, though. 2 minutes to play. Lyon 1, Marseille 1, 3-1 in aggregate. We need another 2 goals in the next 2 minutes to work our way through to the Europa League semi-finals. I don't think it's going to happen, but I've got a goal at least anyway, so it's a consolation for the team. But that won't be anything to be celebrated about, because we've been disappointing, like I said, and the fans won't care about a consolation goal. They wanted to get through. All Lyon have got to do now is just keep hold of this ball, and they will be heading through. 3 minutes added time. I'm trying to work my socks off here to win this back, but it doesn't seem like anybody else is on the same page, because we're just allowing Lyon with the possession. There's the ball in. Mendes makes it 4-1 on aggregate. Lyon 2, Marseille 1 on the night. It won't even be the draw that we're going to get from the game. We are going to fall to a defeat again. I mean, as I said, I was working my socks off straight from kickoff, chasing the ball down, trying to win it back. It just seemed like nobody else was. We all just kind of stood around watching it, just waiting for Lyon to send the ball into the box. The header from Mendes, easy for him to score. And that's the game. And there we have it then. Our Europa League dreams come crashing down, unable to beat Lyon. So all the best to them moving forward. We actually had more shots on the night than they did, but they didn't have to really work that hard. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. They did the job. Did anybody in my team really get a good rating? I got 7.7. I'm not sure Carlos Eduardo should have had a 7.6. But anyways, yeah, we were disappointing, to say the very least. I think I'm only boosted up to 7.7 by that goal that I scored late on, because other than that, I didn't really do too much. So, Europa League over and done with. Our only trophy now is the Coupe Nationale, and we take on Saint Etienne next in the semi-finals. And then after that, if we can beat them, it's most likely going to be PSG, who we haven't beaten once yet, and nobody in the French League has beaten them at all. So, it's looking unlikely that that will also be a cup that we can win. But, of course, we'll try our hardest. We are going to be simming the rest of the French League games as well. So we've just simmed the game there, and we've won it by 3-0. Next up, though, is that Saint Etienne game, of course. I don't think there's too much else we can play for in the French League, so I won't be wasting my energy playing in that. As you can see, we can't fall any lower than 4th place at this current time, as PSG move on to 100 points in the French League. So I feel like the top 4 is still Champions League football anyway, so we will secure it for Marseille as long as we finish in the top 4. But nevertheless, our attention switches over to Saint Etienne here in this semi-final. And looking at the disappointment of the Europa League, we need a final. We want to get to at least a final today. Of course, that will be against PSG if we can get there. But I just want to play in a final. Even if we are going to be considered the underdogs, I guess the ones who won't win if you have to take on PSG. I just want to play in a final with Marseille. So, yeah, massive game this against Saint Etienne. There's the team. Again, not quite fully fit. Of course, I've just played against Lyon in that game 4 days ago. So that could be the reason why I'm actually going to bump it to 5 minutes here as well. Let's see how this goes. Please, 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 can we put in a better performance than we did against Lyon? Bit of a slow start to this game so far, and that's not good there at all. Hamouma's ball across, and Aboubakar has put Saint Etienne in front. I don't know how that has just happened. Because immediately, on that left-hand side, whoever it was who slid in, shouldn't have done. Stay on your feet, you've got that, no problems. And somehow, Aboubakar, who was behind the defender, has been able to finish it off. Marseille are crumbling here at the back end of this season. They really, really are. We are crumbling. I don't know who that is there sliding in, but that's all for defending. And like I said, Aboubakar is behind the defender. He's not even ahead of him. So how on earth he's turned this home, I don't actually know. Marseille 0, Saint-Etienne 1 in the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale. Feels like right now there's just no urgency in this Marseille side to win back possession when we haven't got it. We're just happy watching our opponents sort of knock the ball around and walk forward. And like even when we're in possession, look, where's the runs? Why, like Benedetto there is trying to play a 1-2 that isn't on. Keep hold of it. Let me make the run. Yeah, the way this is going, I can see this being a very, very frustrating end to the season here with Marseille. Aboubakar now looks for another chance, gets the ball through towards Youssef. Mandanda's in no man's land. There's the ball across. Mvia, I don't know how it's turned home, but he's done it. 2-0 Saint-Etienne. And this is crumbling. It really is crumbling. It's not even a clean header by Mvia, but it doesn't matter. Whatever touch he gets on the ball, it would have taken it in. He was free. Mandanda decides to come out into no man's land. I don't know what he's thinking. Oh man, this has gone really bad, really fast. Yeah, we're out of the Europa League, and it looks like we're out of the Coupe Nationale as well. Well, have fun PSG in the final. Looking like they're going to dominate. I mean, actually, I can't discredit Saint-Etienne. They're beating us quite convincingly so far in this game. Who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll beat PSG. But even if we somehow miraculously make it through to the final now, we will get slapped by PSG the way we're playing here. Here is Ali Reza. We've got 3 minutes injury time in a game. Marseille looking for a way back into it. Ali Reza's ball across the face of goal. Kolasinac gets his header on it. Ali Reza again will send it in towards the box. Good touch by us as we now look for a way through. There's the ball across. Ali Reza's there. And it's going to be 2-1. A goal just before half-time. And how big could that be to this semi-final? Ali Reza was not the intended target of my pass when I tried to play it across. The deflection took the ball towards him. He reacted quickest in the box and fires home. Marseille 1, Saint-Etienne 2. That is a big goal for this semi-final moving forward. You can see a little bit fortunate here with the way it comes about, but I'll take that. Not great goalkeeping either. Half-time, it's going to be 2-1. And now we have to come back out, second half, take the game by the scruff of its neck and really dominate the second half because we've not been good enough in this first half. So let's take the game to Saint-Etienne. Here is Aboubakar, off towards Doan, back to Aboubakar. Latta will block the first shot, but Aboubakar somehow has it still. And again, there's the ball through Mandanda with a vital save. Here is Ali Reza. We've got half an hour to play. Now Benedetto, Ali Reza towards my feet, trying to find a ball through. It's a good tackle, but we have back possession. Rongia's ball out wide towards myself too. And into the penalty area we go. Driving forward. There's it across the face of goal. There's Torvan. And it's straight into the hands of Ruffier. What a chance. 29 minutes remain. We still are in search of an equalising goal here. Here is Torvan. Torvan now will find myself. We've got 14 minutes to play. Ball up towards Benedetto. Off towards Ali Reza. Back to Benedetto! And he's fired it home! Marseille 2. Saint-Etienne 2. I'm not sure about the offside flag though. It doesn't seem like it's been raised by the official on that far side. Although there was a hint of that looked a little bit offside. I mean, we're quite fortunate with the way we get through, but what a finish it is. There you can see the touch. And Benedetto, what a finish it is. Into the bottom corner. Our number 9 draws us level in the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale. What a game we have had on our hands here, but I want to see this again. Have we got away with the offside here, or is it the right decision? Benedetto, fantastic finish. Let me check out this offside. And Benedetto is onside. The guy on the far side, and I think Fofana here as well, both keep him onside. What a decision that is by the Lino. 2-2, the goal stands. 5 minutes to play. I just went to attack a Kevin Strootman cross, and now I'm down injured as well. No, if we do make it through to the final, we won't get to play if this is a long-term injury. 4 minutes left on the clock. And it's looking like we're forced off with injury. There you go, the referee's waving on the medics to kind of have a look at us to see what's going on. The physios, rather I should say. And it's looking like that is the end of our game. I mean, I don't even know what has happened there. Like, we seem to morph around for a second or two. It doesn't look good. And Marseille are now fighting without us. 3 minutes and a half left of this game. Extra time and maybe even penalties required. I will play no further part in this game, and I may as well play no further a part in the final should we get there, depending on how that injury is. But of course, we'll stay around and try and cheer on the boys and see if we can make it through to that final. Great ball off towards player. What a save by Ruffier. Wow, that was an instant chance as soon as we left the field of play. Player with it who's come on for Benedetto. Ruffier required. A minute plus injury time until extra time, unless we can score here. Corner ball to take it is Carlos Eduardo. Sends it into the near post. There's player winning the header again. Back to Carlos Eduardo. The ball this time, though, is easily dealt with by Saint Etienne. It will be extra time to decide the fate of these two teams as well. Another half an hour of football coming your way. Obviously, the highlights of it, I should say. And if that doesn't do it, it's penalty kicks. And part of me does want to see penalties because I'm not having to take one. I kind of want to see the pens, but then at the same time, I just want us to get the job done. Nevertheless, half an hour of football, which Saint Etienne have started off strong here. Aboubakar off towards Doan. Aboubakar's ball through towards Youssef. He's in! Oh my goodness, side netting. A let off for Marseille. What a move by Saint Etienne. 30 seconds left until penalty kicks to decide this semi-final. 1 minute of additional time in this second half as well, as the possession still is with Saint Etienne. Ball over the top. Dummett just about cuts it out, and that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to penalty kicks to decide who gets into the final. And I will not take one. Obviously, the injury means I'm not on the field of play anymore. So this is going to be tense. Both teams will not go back in. We will get the decisions made on the field of play about who's taking the 5 spot kicks. But it does go to penalties. Here we go then. Player up first for Marseille. He goes for the Panenka penalty. And the keeper stays down the middle. And up steps Wagner for Saint Etienne. And they lead after the first rotation. The penalties do go very quick, by the way, in this year's game, as we've missed another one. Oh, man. What are we doing? And Saint Etienne miss. What are these penalties? Still 1-0. McKenna up next for Marseille. He's missed it. Oh, this is abysmal. Van Drongelen. What is going on? What is going on? Carlos Eduardo, score, please. Are you kidding? We've missed 4 penalties. Aboubakar's not going to miss. What are we doing? Penalties are awful. They are so bad. Aboubakar doesn't miss, of course. I don't know what I've just seen. That has to be one of the most anticlimactic penalty shootouts I've ever witnessed. That was awful. Absolutely awful. I don't actually know what else to say. I'm a little bit stunned, actually, about how bad they actually were. We didn't score 1 penalty. Aboubakar doesn't miss. Sends Mandanda the wrong way. And after all that, Saint Etienne are through to the final of the Coupe Nationale and we go out. There are the match facts as well after the game. A very even semi-final. I guess Saint Etienne won the first half, we won the second, but ultimately, it is them who go through 2-0 on penalties. And like I said, one of the most anticlimactic penalty shootouts I've witnessed. I expected it to be rather good, and we didn't score 1. So, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to sim till the end of the season, of course. We already know the fate of the league. I could still play the games to make sure we get second or whatever, but actually I can't, can I? I'm injured. So yeah, I wouldn't even be able to. How long is that injury? 4 months. 4 months? Oh my goodness me. 4-month injury. Wow. This is how the league table has finished then for the season. We're down in 4th. Monaco and Lyon finishing 2nd and 3rd. PSG dropped 2 points all season. They ended up winning 37 of 38 games, which is mind-blowing. The final, of course, being played out by Saint Etienne and PSG, so let me go ahead and sim some more days into the future so we can see who comes out on top in that. But whilst I'm doing that, obviously today, we're going to be talking about the future of this series. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I ran a little test. For anyone who doesn't know, there was a patch released, patch 1.07, I think, which was supposed to have fixed the skill moves bug in the player career mode. Now, it didn't actually fix it on my save, so I ran a little test to have a look at the new save that I was going to do. We're still yet to play the game, 5th of June, so I need to be simming a bit further into the future. But yeah, so I ran a little test in that video, of which I would go ahead and get to the point of where the bug would occur. And seemingly, when you start a new game, it was actually okay. We didn't have any issues with our skill moves being reset. So, we are going to be talking now about whether or not we continue the series. So let me quickly check out the Coupe Nationale and see what's happened there. PSG 3-0 victors, understandable. Champions League, yet to be, it has been played. Barcelona beat Atletico Madrid. Did we make it far with Dortmund? We got to the quarterfinals, losing to Liverpool. So yeah, back to the point, right? So, when I began that new save, no problems at all with the skill moves. Now, as you know, in this series, we don't have any skill moves. I can't even do a drag back, a fake shot, or anything like that. In that video, I explained that having checked out the EA forums and looked at that, I have no idea whether or not EA are meaning to patch the issue in regards to current saves. So anybody with the skill move bug as it is right now in a normal save, we have no ETA as to whether or not that even is going to be fixed, or if they're just settling for the fix on new games. So, what does this mean? Well, effectively, we won't know if we're ever going to get our skill moves back in this series. And one of the problems with that is some of the accomplishments require us to use skill. So, as you can see, when I scroll down here, beating players with skill, for example, we are yet to complete that one. It means we won't ever be able to complete it because I can't do skills at all with my player. Another one there, and that's to get me 1-star skill moves. Another one there with dribbling +2. So yeah, I can never, ever do any of these accomplishments because I can't do any skill. So effectively, they would be locked. I wouldn't be able to complete them. I don't know if there's any other things in anywhere that requires you doing skill. I doubt it because that's pretty much ball skills, ball mastery type stuff. So yeah, I can't imagine so. So that kind of is the first thing, right? We will never be able to do skills, hence we won't be able to complete those accomplishments. And moving forward, I will never be able to do any sort of skill moves unless EA patch their game and fix current saves. But as mentioned, we have no idea whether or not they're going to do that. So right now, I'm in a boat of, I don't really want to restart, but I do kind of want to be able to do skill. So we are not that far into the series where it would affect us massively, but we have done really well. You know, our pro is now 87 rated. We're going into our third season, of course, back with Borussia Dortmund. So there's a lot to kind of consider. So I've decided I'm going to leave it up to you guys there to leave me your suggestions. I will leave a poll at the top right-hand side of this video, basically asking whether or not you think we should restart the series with a yes or a no. Now, do take into consideration what I've already mentioned. Of course, when I ran that test on the new save that I made, it was fine. We had our skill moves even after the bug or the bit of the bug that normally makes it happen. It didn't make it happen on my save game. I will never be able to complete the accomplishments that require skill until EA patch it. So that's another thing to consider. And EA haven't said whether or not they're going to fix current saves. They've only said that they fixed it, but they haven't told us in what capacity. They haven't said if they fixed it just for new games or the current ones, which clearly they haven't done. So a lot to kind of look at and a lot to think about. So I guess weighing up the pros and cons, you guys have to make that decision as to whether or not you want me to restart the series. I, on the other hand, I'm not edging either way. I'm quite happy to restart. I'm quite happy to keep going. But it's up to you guys to let me know what your decision is. Obviously, take into account what I've said. If you want me to be using skills, then we'd have to restart the series for now. If you're not bothered, and tell me about that as well. Like I said, I just want to be making content for you. I just want to be enjoying the My Player career mode and all that stuff. And yeah, so I'm quite happy to do either one. So leave me your suggestions down in the comment section below, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Also cast your vote at the top right hand side of this video. I am going to give it a few days before the next My Player video. So what I will do is, if you choose for us to restart the series, then I will kind of sign this off with I guess this can be classed as our beta save, if you will. And then if you choose for me to continue, we'll just continue as always. So it's entirely up to you guys. But the fact of the matter is, it should have never been in the game, you know? Career mode this year has been so much of an underwhelming feature to the game. I had big plans, I had big expectations for this year with the changes they made. And let's face it, again, it's been disastrous, really, hasn't it? So, for a game mode that I've spent a lot of time playing in the past FIFAs, a lot of time enjoying, I have to say, this has been one of the most frustrating starts to a My Player career mode I think I've experienced ever. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, have a great day, have a great evening. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. Apologies that we couldn't get through to a Final 4U today. Just didn't quite show up when it mattered in our performances. But sometimes that is football. If you are new around here and like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. And until next time, I'll catch you all later. Adios.